My name is Maddie Rayner. I am a surfboard shaper for work. That's just what I do Monday to Friday. I like a lot of other things. I'm a dad full-time. I have 3 kids. I love to train Muay Thai. I love to teach Muay Thai. I love to fight Muay Thai when it happens, which is pretty rare. I love playing golf. I love all the stuff that most people like. So I'm gonna be inviting friends from all over that do all kinds of things. Very few of them are pro surfers at all, but they're just people who are enthusiasts. They love the ocean, they love the water, they love surfing, whether it's a new passion or something they've grown up doing. I want them to come in and get their hands dirty and shape their own boards and find the connection between the movement of their boards in the water and the lines they cut themselves into the foam.
You could call him a world traveler, an adventurer, an environmentalist. You could call him a storyteller, a filmmaker, an artist. In observation of this interesting specimen of a human called Sam Potter, we feel that all titles are duly fitting. But for the sake of a quick and easy hook to ensure you watch this episode, let's just call Sam Potter, aka Captain Potter, a visual journalist. Sam hosts a YouTube channel in which he ever so fascinatingly documents his travels around the world. Sam captures sights, sounds, and emotion in delectably served episodes. Sam's short films make you want to get off the couch, tie off the bow lines of your comfort zone, and push off to explore.
I think you're gonna be surprised in how little I actually know. Because I've surfed my whole life, but it's always been, I surf whatever I can get my hands on. I've worked with Lance Siebert, a shaper on Kauai, twice. Those are the only times I've ever even come up with ideas or try to explain to someone this is what I want.
Had some dialogue with dictating some kind of shape that's happened.
And then besides that, there was a point where I knew nothing, and then there was a point where I was friends with Koa Smith, and then I still knew nothing, but I had him, and I'd just be like, Koa, what do I want? And he would be like, this. And I'm like, can you order that for me?
Somebody's trying to translate what you're feeling into the vernacular of shaping and design and stuff for you.
Yes.
Essentially.
Pretty much.
Okay.
So I don't even know, I know very little.
You know a couple things that you like though.
Yes.
Which is, it sounds like you told me earlier you kind of flatter, faster, floatier, more forgiving boards.
Yes, exactly. I like boards that make it easier to surf.
Okay.
And you're just this is board's making me look better than I am.
Right.
That's my kind of board.
Sam, where are you from? Tell me about your birth.
Yes.
What was your birth like?
Well, it was dark.
Was it complicated or was it pretty smooth?
No, I was actually born in a toilet.
Oh my God.
So it was so smooth that my mom just my mom kept trying to convince everyone she was having a kid, and I was the first one. The doctor's like, you're not having a kid, calm down. My dad's like, you're not having a kid, calm down. So I gotta take a freaking piss then. And went to go take a piss, boom. My head started coming out, just oh my God, there's a kid! And then my dad ran in, and then I literally shot out, and he caught me, and almost fumbled me, and then I was there. Just right out.
So that question, thank you. Gold. Someone
told me at one point that your birth story tells you a lot about who you are. I don't know if it's true, but I definitely think I've been ever since have been keeping true to that. I'm coming out.
You've been on the same trajectory possibly your entire life.
Whoa, toilet bowl.
About to hit the shitter and then
exactly. That was perfect. Yeah. That's the new one I'm gonna use.
Wow,
about
Sam.
to hit the shitter, but didn't.
How did you go from just being a Grom growing up in Kauai to what you're doing now? Because I can't even, when people ask me about you or what you do, I'm like, I don't know, you got to look at his stuff. He does a ton of stuff.
I guess it was in senior year of high school, and the first time I made a video was, I was in Spanish class trying to get my science homework done, and my teacher was chewing me out because I was doing my science homework in Spanish class. This is Spanish. Like, we're watching a movie. Like, we're watching a movie. Like, just let me do my homework. Like, I want to go surf after this. Like, I'm not trying to do homework all day. Like, I was always a kid trying to get my homework done in school so that after school I can go do things.
Yeah.
And so I stormed out and went to my photography teacher's class because he was cool. I'm like, he's gonna let me do my science homework, and he wouldn't let me do it either. And he's like, if you're gonna be in my class, you're gonna do my work. I'm like, this is photography. It's like, this is easy. Like, the work's done. But so I picked up my phone and like made like a little video, like a few of my friends like doing something stupid, and I was like, that was fun. And I just like kept doing it, and then I graduated high school and I bought a GoPro and like filmed a couple adventures, and someone's like, I'll pay you to make a video for my company. And it was like a couple $100. I'm like, let's go. Like, as soon as I like saw the money, I've always been very like, as a kid, like selling mangoes, selling Lays, like always trying to put money in my pocket, like
Straight
always.
hustler.
Yeah, like off the bat. And so I saw the money and like started running with it. And from there it became, I found something that let me do whatever I wanted, which I think was, I've never really been that drawn to cameras. It would surprise you, just like how it's gonna surprise you how little I know about shaping boards, how little I know about cameras. But that's not my shtick. I don't need to know about what frames we need to shoot at and what da-da-da-da. I've gotten to a point where I can hire people to do that. I know how to tell a story.
You're a big picture
That's
guy.
what I
Vision.
practiced. I had to learn a lot about cameras and editing and da-da-da, but through that process I learned what I was good at and honed in on that. But it was like, that was the process. I picked up a camera, I found something to let me do whatever I wanted. I could surf, I could dive, I could like anything. Like, a camera made everything accessible. And then I fell in love with telling stories. And I was like, oh wow, like I can change people's lives. Like, I can change the way people view the world, view each other. Like, that got me hooked, where I'm like, whoa, I can do something with this. And I think that's why I the path I've gone down and why I still do it is because there's I guess a power to it, or like a responsibility, a kuleana to it, where it's like, oh wow, like if I take, it just lets me shine a light on people is what it does. And that's what I like. I like being able to shine a light on people and learn from them and tell that story. And now I have found myself in a position where I get to travel the world and tell different people's stories. And I think my passion for that is, I feel like I get to connect people because I have the opportunity to go out and meet all these really interesting people. And with a camera, I can introduce you to that person. And then the lessons that I learned, the experiences that I had, is also yours now.
The way that we get this square is we line up this line with our stringer.
It's gonna ride really well.
Just hook you up with a little assistance real quick. So yeah, it's just 1/8 of an inch inside a 10. How do you feel? Where do you stand? It's like, I know it's a part of your life. It's got to be.
Yeah.
It has to be. It has to be. I don't understand that.
I love it. I hate it and I love it, but like, if I'm being on a surface level, I think I hate it, and it makes me frustrated, and I don't like the day-to-day. I don't like getting sucked into it. I don't like the addictive relationship I have with my phone because of it. I don't like that I have to work in this field where it makes me wonder how people are, because that's what you're doing. How do people see me? And then you try to market yourself in a certain way. I think that's kind of terrible. But if I didn't have that opportunity, where would I be? Like, would I have been able to do everything that I'm doing? Like, I genuinely believe that everyone has the power to change the world right now. That you could do whatever you want. Like, for the first time, I think that's true. You can do whatever you want. You can be whoever you want. If you put in the time, you put in the work, the platform's there. Anyone can do it now. I don't think that was true until this generation. Like, it just wasn't. Like, life was not fair. No man was created equal. Still maybe not so, but now that platform is an equalizer. You want to work hard?
That's the word I was going to use. Yeah.
Because I mean, there's no way I'd be as successful as I am right now.
I get to post in the same place that Kanye does. You know, like
that's true.
Like whenever I want to. I can post more than him if I want to. You know, it's like we all have the same opportunity there, and it's a cool thing. And if it broadens your audience and your ability to tell your stories, why would you not? I mean, it's
And hating it's kind of a waste of time.
Do people really hate it that say that they do?
Well, I mean, probably not, because they just bail out.
I don't know. I don't know many people who hate it that don't have it.
People who actually hate it just don't have it, and they're like, I don't care.
I didn't do Cub Scouts, so I would stick my thumb right here to make sure I'm right on. I only made it to like We Below or Wolf or something. Ooh, look how pretty that is. You know, I go from here.
Why did you let me go first? Why didn't you go first and then I go after?
Well, now you see. That's why I interrupted.
I
you could be like,
yes, sensei.
You could be like, oh,
yeah,
wax off.
I understand. This guy's special. This guy's built different, born different, built different.
All right, Sam, how we looking?
I like it. But you're gonna train different if you're training for a fight. If you're not training for anything, if there's nowhere to put that knowledge, to put that skill set, there's no pressure, there's no moment to use that skill, you're not gonna train the same. So for me, it was more about having the fight camp and training and getting that mindset, feeling that pressure, knowing I had a fight coming up. Like, I wanted to feel what that was like. Just because it scared me. That is my marker for life. If I'm afraid of something, I'm in. I'm drawn to that. I want to feel that fear, and I don't want it to win. You know what I mean? There's always that moment of like, am I gonna do it? Like a cliff jump's the easiest one. Just like, am I gonna do it? Am I gonna throw myself over? And when you like back off, it feels terrible. The next day you're thinking about it. I was right there. Why did I just jump? Like da da da. For me, that's like drives my whole life because I'm like genuinely terrified that one day I'm gonna be old, laying in my deathbed, and all I'm gonna have is those moments that I didn't do it. That's terrifying to me. That's like the only true fear I have of like feeling like I'm gonna get to the end and I didn't even live it. So whenever I feel that fear, it almost just kicks me right into that.
Have you had a fear of fighting before?
Yeah, for sure. You don't like, there's like, it's a whole pride ego thing. And like growing up, there's plenty of opportunities to get into fights and get your ass kicked. And I've been on that. And it's just funny how terrified I was of losing. And it wasn't even the getting beat up part that scared me. It wasn't the physical pain. It was the shame that might come with losing. I was afraid of that for like my whole childhood. And I think that was like what I wanted to try to conquer. And like I went in there like okay with losing. Like also just, it's a very interesting set of skills. And like think under fire has never been realer than that of right. Like you have to think fast. You start thinking from somewhere else and you just start acting and reacting and like you get to like see what you're made of and like take hits and like can I come back and like a lot of people that thought it was dumb. Like why would you do that? You're incredibly inexperienced. You're just hurting yourself like that. You're 100% correct. But there's lessons from that fight that I will carry with me forever. Things that I'm not even gonna try to explain. People will never get it. You can hate on it as much as you want. You'll never understand what it is me and Juan went through in that camp, on that night, the pressure, like getting hit, coming back, losing rounds, trying to like put yourself in a space where you're like, I'm not losing, knowing that you're losing. I could feel my whole corner, because I lost the first 2 rounds. I could feel I had all my family there, all my friends. I could feel like the fear behind me of like, Sam might not win this. And I like at some point let out like a yell. Like, yeah, let's go. Just to let my friends know I'm like, I'm good. Like I'm still in this. Like I almost had to prove it to them. I'm just like, don't doubt me yet. Like I got it. Win or lose, it didn't matter. Putting your pride on the line like that is what it was about. Of just like, work hard, put all you got on it, and then go. And I knew, like, no matter how it ended up, I was going to take something real away from that. And that's why I wanted to do it.
There's a lot of lessons. A lot of lessons. I always feel like fights are like a 5 or an 8 or a 12 or a 15-minute compilation of, I mean, it's months and months and months and sometimes years of work that you put into it. But the physical conditioning, the preparation, the timing, the sparring, all the practice that you do, all that stuff, I feel like for me it's always been like 20% of that shows up and the rest of it is what you're saying, learning something about yourself, something that is deep inside of you that doesn't come out anywhere else that I've ever found. Maybe it's like ultra marathoners get that, they figure out what they're made of on mile, you know, like 88 out of 100 or so. I don't know, because I've never done anything else. But I do know that you learn stuff about yourself that I can't figure out another way to get there.
Yeah, and honestly, it feels weird me telling you about my one fight story when I know you've been training for like.
It's all the same. It's the same experience. It's the same experience just over and over, and you repeat it and you repeat it and you repeat it. But the lessons, they don't stop. The quick wins you learn. The losses you learn more from. But it's like there's so much knowledge to be had, and it's not so much like knowledge that I'm taking into the next fight, because that's not how I look at fighting. I've never been afraid to lose. I just want to fight because I want to feel that feeling. I want to know more about myself than I did before, and I can train my brains out, and I don't get that feeling without that climactic.
Yeah.
You know, everything goes quiet. The carnal Sam comes out, and it's just like, it's something completely different. It's indescribable if you haven't been there and done it. And to be able to, you know, for me to be able to repeat that over and over, it's just like, man, it's been really beautiful. And not something I talk about most of the time, because it's been kind of on the lowdown for me. And I just don't like sharing that part of my world. But with the way that you said it and the way that you explained it, as far as challenging yourself and trying yourself and learning about yourself, and then also just like competing with your ego in front of your family, Sam, that's something I've never done. I've never fought with my family there. I've never fought in front of friends. Like, that's something that's, to me, it's like almost like a challenge right now, where I'm like, I'm getting all shaky because I'm like, oh shit, do I think I got to do this again. You know, like every fight I'm done, it's always the last one for me.
Yeah.
Always. Even the ones that fall through, I'm like, oh, it's good, I'm done. Now I can be done. And now it's like, shit, Sam.
Not done.
Fuck.
But I mean, it's probably before I could even surf, brother.
And so what you're trying to do is you're trying to keep this part on the high, but then you're also trying to like line it up so the blade, which ends up at a 45-degree angle, if you kind of keep it like this part running along right there, you'll kind of like cut about that much off of it.
Okay.
All the way off and up. Nice. You just got to keep it faster. Faster, 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 faster. There you go, there you go. Boom. It was. There you go. So what's next for Sam Potter?
There's a whole list of things.
Because look at what we just did, man. Look at that. That's now, here and now. It's like 10:30 at night. It's been a long ass day. It's been a lot of fun. And we got that to show for it.
Yeah.
Some winged little 80s inspired 5.6.
I've genuinely always wanted to do this. I
Yeah.
really appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
I'm stoked. It's just like you were saying, like, it's a very special thing to shape a board, and like, to be a surfer and to know nothing about shaping boards, it's always felt a little like, I should really know something. So it's cool to like, be with you and see some things.
You did it, man.
Touch a couple boards.
That was all you.
Yeah, was all me.
I just made sure nothing went really bad. That's it.
Honestly, I like plan big, dream big. I got a lot of big things coming that like almost feel like they shouldn't even be talked about yet. I'm just gonna keep playing them in my head.
Because you're worried about speaking them out loud might change the outcome of the future? Or,
No.
or what
I'll
are we
speak them
talking
out
about?
loud, like to close, like not on camera. I'll speak them out all the time, but I can't be putting out.
Okay.
No, but right now I am working on a series on my own YouTube channel. It's called Back to the Wild.
Oh.
And it's all about just connecting with people who are still connected to their wild places. I feel like anyone who's still connected to their natural environment has kind of like a secret, like a superpower. Like surfers, spear fishermen, farmers, scientists, indigenous people, anyone who still has that connection to the planet has such a more fulfilling life and just a different perspective that I feel like a lot of people don't have access to nowadays. So I want to tell those stories. I'm building out that series. It's going to be on my YouTube channel, and that's what I'm focused on.
What's the YouTube channel called?
The Captain Potter. So
Captain
all
Potter.
my tags are Captain Potter.
The Captain
The
Potter.
Captain Potter. No, it's just Captain Potter.
Jeez.
Instagram, Captain Potter. YouTube, Captain Potter. But the new series that's coming soon is Back to the Wild. What do I write for the board? Like the name? The name of the board? Do I name it right here?
That's right. 5'6", whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
I'd call it the 85, but you know.
But mine's
Could be the
different.
96.
Yeah, you call it
The
5'6", 90. Ooh, the 96.
5696.
5'6", put year 96.
Wow, that does sound nice.
Just to give it,
5'6",
so they don't get
96.
confused by the 9'6".
Yeah,
Thinking
that'd
like they're gonna charge you for a 9'6".
Face off.
Oh, you still want to do that?
Oh yeah.
Okay, you'll see that really quick.
Well, it should almost just be our thumbnail.
I've never really done it to you.
Have you never done a face off?
Usually in Muay Thai, everybody's always like, oh,
Just like super. We should do that.
how are you?
I've been looking forward to hitting you in the face. Okay, on UFC.
Like that.
Yeah, I want to see the UFC one. Get closer.
God, hold me back!
Let's flip it over. You don't even need these pencil lines.
And what did we make?
Well,
Oh, you thought I did. I see what you're saying.
I didn't know that you
didn't know I watched your stuff before.
I didn't know that's a long smooth
I feel like I talked too much shit and now you don't care. I knew that based on the first question, the way you said influencer. I heard it in the tone. You ain't want me here. Fail. Look, pass on a few followers and get the fuck out of my shop. Smooth, slow.
It's in there. It's starting to come out. Second coming.
I felt it.
Did you?
No.
Let's do this.
I didn't.
Let's use our best tool with our hands.
Oh, I understand.
Hey, this is Maddie Rayner. Thanks so much for watching another episode of Fresh Lines. Wanted to thank our sponsors, Juneshine and Loose Towels, for supporting us through batch 1 of the show. Make sure that you subscribe by clicking something here or here or here or wherever. Hit the button. Thanks.